Hello there, thanks so much for joining us for episode 41 of the Long Comics Book Club, a bi-weekly podcast about long comics, also known as manga and graphic novels. My name is Shane, I'm the older brother and comic acolyte, and I'm joined by Spence, the younger brother and comic professional. Spence, are you excited for the new Spider-Man movie coming out soon?
Like, kinda. Honestly, I don't know. Despite being a huge comic book fan, MCU, man, this is like tangentially, I guess it's still the MCU, even if it's run by Sony. It's hard to get excited about that stuff these days.
Well, and I think also all the excitement is maybe getting instead translated into the Odyssey
Yes.
coming up. That's where the big exciting IMAX is going to be.
Oh, yeah. Definitely going to see that one.
Yeah, well, even if we can't get excited about Spider-Man and Brand New Day, is that the one?
Yes.
Even if we can't get excited about Spider-Man Brand New Day, we can instead get excited about the comic we are talking about today, because today we are talking about the amazing Spider-Man Kraven's Last Hunt. This is a comic story, actually, instead of a movie, obviously, that is old. This is originally published in October to November of 1987. So this is a little bit of a throwback episode to something that's almost 40 years old. This was written by J.M. Mateus and has art by Mike Zeck. And it is our long comic that we're talking about today. So if you're new to the show, for the first half of the episode, we're going to be doing our book club discussion, talking about Kraven's Last Hunt, the themes, the writing choices, plot choices, some fun facts, all that good stuff, and a recommendation if you haven't yet read the book to decide if it's worth picking up. And for the second half of the show, we are talking about two different things. We're going to be talking about the Kraven the Hunter movie, which I tried to watch, and we're also going to be talking about the Marvel set in Magic the Gathering, which Spence has been playing a lot of.
Yes, bring back the Magic stuff, if any, from our previous Magic episodes.
Yeah, it's good, nice to have a little bit of sprinkling of Magic every once in a while, considering its omnipresence in your life every Friday plus more, because Kraven is in that Magic the Gathering set, so there's
technically no, he's in the Spider-Man set, but close enough.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. Was there a Spider-Man set? All I know is about some strange set about
Through the Omen Path doesn't exist anymore. You can play Magic. You can play Spider-Man on Magic on Arena now. It's all good.
There you go. But Spider-Man does exist in the new Marvel set. So Spence is going to tell us a little bit about how he is enjoying the new Marvel set. So we will, of course, end off with Spence introducing the long comic for the next podcast, which is going to be coming out on August 1st. And it will be a manga as we alternate between the two formats, so we get the best of both worlds. So make sure to stick around to the end of the show so that you can find out what's next and you can read along too. At the top of the episode, I want to give two thank yous. The first is to thank you, our listeners, for supporting the show, whether it's your first time listening or if you're coming back every 2 weeks. Thanks for hanging out and making sure to follow the show if you aren't already. We just passed 1,000 streams and downloads, which is incredible and super cool to have that support. We also had a bizarre, huge upsurgence for 3 days, which was mainly from Vietnam. So I have no idea what that was about, but
the Vietnam, that's new. I knew about the upsurge. I did not realize we were going hard in Vietnam. So
yeah, we've made a huge splash in Vietnam. So if you're in Vietnam and can explain what that was about, that would be great. Thank you. Hopefully this show encourages you to engage with these wonderful forms of media and that you enjoy them as much as we do. Make sure to stop by one of our social channels to join the discussion, or maybe you can recommend the show to a friend and have a little book club discussion of your own. And of course, the other big thank you is to Vesperia Manga and Comics for providing today's long comic, by which I mean thank you Spence, owner and proprietor of Vesperia, online at VesperiaComics.com and physically located at 1935 West Broadway in Vancouver, British Columbia. Spence, you have a big update for the shop.
Yes. Anime Revolution is the weekend the next episode comes out on. So we will be working hard, having a booth there. So looking forward to that one.
So this is your opportunity now is when you should be buying tickets to Anime Revolution. Because Anime
Yes.
Revolution is the 31st, 1st, and 2nd. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. 31st, 1st, and
Ju-
2nd, Friday through. Yep.
Cool.
Uh,
July 31st, August 1st, August 2nd. Right. So, yeah. And I think the same thing actually happened last year where an episode dropped during Anime Revolution as well, funny
I
enough.
think you might have. Yeah. I guess that's just how the math
This
works
rings a
out because
bell.
it's, yeah, Anime Revolution's always like the first week, final weekend, like that kind of era. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you're interested in that kind of content, now's the time to buy tickets and then to go and find Spence's booth and visit
Yes.
Vesperia. And if you can't make it to Anime Revolution, you can always visit the brick and mortar store or the online store again at VesperiaComics.com. So, now getting into the book club. Again, we are talking about Amazing Spider-Man, Kraven's Last Hunt. So, Spence, why did you choose this as our long comic?
Well, there's a Spider-Man movie coming out. So, let's talk about Spider-Man. And didn't want to do Brand New Day because as much as Brand New Day is disliked, the original Brand New Day comic is disliked. It's also a sequel to One More Day, which is borderline the most hated comic book of all series of all time. So I didn't want to have to do with that
Mm-hmm.
one. So instead, let's do my favorite Spider-Man comic series, which is Kraven's Last Hunt. This little 6 issue, but yeah, little mini arc is I just a great, amazing comic book. So I want to do more. I want to do that one.
Yeah, it makes more sense to do a small mini arc rather than a longer arc that is based on one of the most hated comic runs of all time. Not just
Yeah,
Spider-Man runs, but
like
just comic
period.
runs in
Yeah.
general.
Do you know the like just the like one sentence of what One More Day is about?
I do not.
It's about how Aunt May is in a coma, or like one of the villains puts Aunt May in a coma. So Spider-Man gives his marriage to Mephisto, like sells his marriage to Mephisto to bring Aunt May back to life.
Okay, so then the story is Mephisto is now married to Mary Jane.
Well, Mephisto just like retcons Peter Parker has now never been married.
Okay. Okay. So it's just a
It's
storyline about Rekata. This sounds
it's a very retcon like it's one of the most egregious examples of like whoever writing this wants the status quo to be X, so they're going to prevent like retcon everything that happened in the past.
that's not a very kind thing to do. For those who are not familiar with the term retcon, it's short for retroactive continuity. It means when you essentially erase something that had been clearly established.
Yes, quite
And is
literally in this case.
generally unpopular to
Yeah,
do.
especially
It's
when it really began the like Peter Parker has to suffer and is not allowed to be happy. That is kind of has been a big part of Spider-Man for like the last 20 years. That
mm,
people don't like. People liked it when Peter Parker was allowed to be happy.
yeah. Well, in this one, Peter Parker is very unhappy. This is
Yes.
Peter Parker. Spider-Man is going through it in this comic.
Yes.
So to read the back of this and then talk a little bit more about the plot, just as we're starting to get into Kraven's Last Hunt here. So on the back of the book, what it says, it's the ultimate tale of revenge. Kraven the Hunter has stalked and killed every animal known to man, but there's one beast that has eluded him. One quarry that has mocked him at every turn, the wall-crawling, web-slinger known as Spider-Man. And to prove that he is the hero's master, he will pull on his costume and become him after he shoots and buries him 6 feet under. That's a good little synopsis. What a
Very literal take on it, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, sometimes we don't have the strongest back of the box story
Yeah.
descriptors, but I like that one a lot. And
Yeah.
I'd read that based on the back descriptor.
Yeah. And like, and a lot of the parts of this are kind of like, couldn't really be meta. Like, there's a lot of like metaphor and stuff like that in what happens here. So
Yeah.
can't really put that on the back of a,
So the non-metaphor part, the very surface level plot, getting into spoilers just so people know. I mean, again, this is 40 years old, but now's your
yeah.
time to look at the time codes to jump ahead if you don't want to know what happens, because there is something pretty integral at the end of this book, which is that it does start that Spider-Man is now married to Mary Jane.
Yes.
That
Which
is,
actually didn't, until I was like looking into this, literally the comic book before this is their wedding.
oh
Issue
wow.
before.
Wow. Happy marriage, Spider-Man Mary Jane. You are now shot by Kraven the Hunter, buried 6 feet under. He is drugged. He's not actually dead, we learn, but it is that Kraven dons Spider-Man's suit, goes out, beats a bunch of people up, finds this villain named the Vermin, who is a cannibal, defeats the Vermin and
Yeah.
captures the Vermin and
Which which
makes,
which which another big point is the Vermin is someone Spider-Man has never been able to take by himself.
yeah, but
All
Kraven
previous,
can.
yeah, all previous, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Which
Spider-Man's
is
never
which is
defeated Vermin solo. He had to have the help of Captain America.
yeah, which is one of my favorite things about this comics. I don't think any villain has ever won harder than Kraven does in this comics.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very much what this is.
Yeah.
That's what this story is all about because Kraven beats Spider-Man, then he beats Vermin. He makes Spider-Man fight Vermin, which Spider-Man loses, therefore proving that Kraven is better than Vermin. And then Kraven takes his own life.
Yes, because I guess
And
because yeah, Kraven is like dying at the start of this. He's unspecified, like at the end of his life.
yeah, unclear if that's a true illness, if it's age, if it's because of a mental health
Yeah.
disorder that he is believes he's dying. Unclear exactly
Yes, because they also
the
talk
reason
about
of.
for the first time, really, because okay, one interesting thing also this to give you a little background. I think you probably don't realize before this point, Craven was like a joke villain almost.
Hmm.
Like he was not like a joke villain's probably saying being a little mean to it, but like he wasn't taken seriously. Like
Mhm.
Craven wasn't like the Joker. He was like Scarface or someone like that, using a Batman example. Like he wasn't like a big important villain. He was the guy who gets beat up in like the intro to before the real story starts.
Right, he's like a throwaway second string kind of guy.
Yeah.
Wow, and then this in this one, boy, does he ever usurp that and really become
Yes.
primary string. But yeah, we end off after Craven has taken his own life. Spider-Man tries to fight the Vermin again. Doesn't really beat him technically.
Kind of. At the very least he
He's
succeeds on capturing the Vermin.
yeah,
So
he gets super lucky because Vermin goes into the light and then gets all scared and disoriented,
yeah,
and that's
but
how he
also
defeats him.
like importance to for Spider-Man, he won because Vermin's taken down. Like
That's
for Peter
true. For
Parker, it's not important that he was the one who beat Vermin on himself. It was important that Vermin got stopped, so he succeeded.
yeah, and so that's certainly starting to touch on the incredibly deep themes and things going on in this.
Yes.
The difference between Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and what does it mean
Yeah,
that
and
it's
Craven,
important?
what does like the hunt, the life mean for Craven and all that?
Yeah. So we're gonna do our best at this. I'll be honest. I've now read this. I This is the first thing that we've done for the Long Comics Book Club that I have read twice. I actually read. It's not very long. It's like you noted. It is 6 issues. So it's actually a pretty quick read. I think in total there's like 150 pages, so it's pretty easy to get through. But wow, is there ever a lot of depth to this?
Yes.
Uh,
Honestly, that's a good. I think this might be our most like classically you could do an actual book club about.
100%. Yeah, this is one of the most, if not the most complex thematically that we've read.
Yes,
I think, well, Goodbye Area was also up there as well,
that's true.
for sure.
Yes.
There's been a lot of great examples, but this one, I think of the comic books that we've read,
Yeah.
is probably the best of which, uh, because there's some really interesting, complicated things going on in here. To provide some context about why it's especially complex and dark and gritty and emotional, I learned this is a fun fact. This was written during the writer's painful divorce,
Oh,
and it was the darkest time of his life.
interesting.
Is something that he talks about in a interview that I found.
Yes, because
Um,
I know he originally wrote it as a Batman story.
yep,
Yes,
a Batman story, and then there was also someone else he wrote it as.
Wonder Man, I
Uh,
think.
yes, it was Wonder Man, and then
Yeah.
Batman, and then ended up with Spider Man, um, which is very interesting. And I don't know if I could. see it as anything other than
Yeah,
what it is now.
I think it worked out the best being a Spider-Man story.
Yeah. I think I love there's something in the foreword that he says. This is again the writer, um, DeMartise, that he wrote in the foreword that I think really captures why this is so interesting. He said, Peter Parker is perhaps the most emotionally and psychologically authentic protagonist in any superhero universe.
Yeah. And
Y-
like this is another interesting thing at the time. Like Peter Parker, which once again we'll get back like actually this really ties back into that whole brand new day resetting everything. At the time, Peter Parker was like grew more than any other character. Like you saw Peter Parker from when he was in high school into university, into him getting
Hmm.
married, into him like you literally got to see for the first 40 years or so of Spider-Man's comic book thing, you got to see like a good, I don't know, 15 years of real time for him of like a
Hmm.
kid growing up.
Yeah. And I mean, that's very much what he's going through in this one as well as the growing up. Not even just that he's now married, but that he's dealing with a lot of really scary things. And in this one, a big one is for sure mortality. That's sort of
Yes.
where we start off. That's sort of the first big theme that we're looking at, which is it's all about how they're both facing death. You already mentioned how Kraven is dying, believes that he's dying,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man just lost some like regular goon on the street just
Yes.
died.
I had to look this like it was like a very bit character, like a bit
Yeah.
like informant character who had appeared in like a handful of issues. Not a huge thing, but still like
Hmm. Still a
a character
guy.
who had
Joey
appeared
the
before.
Face.
Yeah.
Joey the Face had a name.
Yep.
Joey the Face had a name. But yeah, we have Joey's funeral. We have actually a couple of different funerals, I guess, in this. I hadn't really tracked that, but death is very much on Spider-Man's mind and Craven's mind when we start this off. Um, and then it just sort of goes from there, especially with Craven then proceeding to kill Spider-Man,
Yes.
allegedly. And so
Yeah.
something I
But
want
then to
to,
be fair, the comic is very much like implies for a solid issue that like Spider-Man is air quotes dead. Obviously, it's a
Mhm.
comic book. It still says Spider-Man. Clearly, Spider-Man isn't like dead, but like for all intents and purposes, Spider-Man
Yeah,
is
he
dead for like a
doesn't,
full issue.
he doesn't appear in the second or the third issue.
Oh, was it three? Okay, yeah. Or
Yeah,
two?
he's
Yeah.
actually fully out of two of them, and it really just becomes a Craven story, which
Yeah,
is
okay.
very, very cool because I mean, you were sort of touching on there that Craven apparently didn't have any backstory before this. This is what
Yeah,
gave Craven, well, other than
yeah.
he's Russian.
Yeah, he was Russian and then this like Craven was very much like Stanley read the Most Dangerous Game and was like, I can make that guy a Spider-Man villain. So let's just take a Russian aristocrat and make him hunt Spider-Man because that's what
Right.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the entirety of
His personality and backstory.
yeah.
But in this one, it's given that essentially he came from a wealthy family, and then they
Yes,
came in
which
his,
that was a like the fact he's like old enough to be from the Russian Revolution era.
yeah. And so his father was a wealthy aristocrat and they became poor when they moved,
Yes. Well, yeah,
and
because
his
they
mother
got
went
forced
insane.
out by the Russian Revolution. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, communism, all that.
Yeah, and then he's furious about it, and he blames the spider for it.
Yes.
And so De Demartis does talk. Dematisse does talk about this in an interview, but I'm curious if what was your impression? Because throughout this, he always talks about the spider, the spider.
Yeah.
What did you think the spider was?
I kind of took it as like the spiders, like to Craven at least, like a metaphorical, like the most dangerous game, like the height of the hunter to him. That's what the spider is
Mhm.
to him. Like the true, yeah, like what the beast he is trying to overcome.
Mhm.
And because he's Craven, like quite literally the beast.
Yeah, and that is what Dematisse also talks about how the spider is the embodiment of all of Craven's failures and the challenges that he faces in his life. So,
Yeah.
like you're saying, it's this beast, this wicked beast.
Yes.
and that to triumph means that he gets to move on past his failures and his challenges, and then that he would then have nothing left to prove. And that the spider is very interesting. What he says is that the spider doesn't exist and that he just proved that he's better than something that is only a projection of his own madness. Because this is something I find very interesting is Kraven's sort of insanity.
Yes. But like,
Uh,
as I said earlier, like Kraven wins as like could not have won harder in his own mind. But
mhm.
that's kind of the point is that like the win condition of him and Peter Parker are just completely different. Like
Yeah,
he's winning a game that only he is playing.
yeah. And that, I mean, and also is his insanity, in order to win that game, he sort of has to sacrifice his own sanity.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think that is actually a big part of it because Kraven doesn't have superpowers, is what I've sort of noted here.
He has unspecified like not really, no.
But it's not that he has superpowers, it's that he uses like
Yeah.
perfumes and
Yeah. Like
serums and
he's like Captain America level. Captain America kind of has superpowers, but like kind of also doesn't.
but it strikes me as Cravens aren't permanent. And
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure about that.
but I'm
Maybe.
not sure. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we at least in this don't see him sort of like taking a dose or anything. We see
No.
that he goes into this room where he gets surrounded by pink mist, and that sort of is where he takes on these animalistic properties.
Yeah.
But we
And that
don't see
almost
him.
yeah, that feels almost like I don't know. Like yeah, like entering the um what's that word? Like sensory deprivation tank to like fight your own
Mhm.
literal demons.
Yeah, I mean, that's very much, yeah, speaking of his own demons, that's something that I was wondering about. So, where do you sort of draw the line with those Craven scenes between his own insanity and what he's actually facing? So, do you think that he fights the animals at the start? Do you think that he is eating spiders?
I think he's like doing all of that in his mind. Like it's madness, but also like to Craven it's real.
Even the animal fighting.
Like in Craven's own mind. Like it's not real air quotes. He's not actually fighting any animals, but
Hmm.
yeah.
I guess that does make sense because later Spider-Man does go into his house. No, Spider-Man also fights a crocodile and a something and a cheetah, I think.
Oh yeah, right. So I guess it probably literally is fighting the
Well,
animals,
I
but
don't
like,
know, but then again, no, but that's also in the room where you have all this pink
yeah,
mist
that's a good point.
going around. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say for sure whether these are like real creatures or if it is that they're like manifestations of the beast within that they then have to face. I do also then like wonder, is it that he's eating real spiders? That one's harder to tell,
Yeah.
but that one is extremely gross. That is grotesque, where you see him mashing and you see this green spider juice in between his teeth. Because boy, just touching on the art here, fantastic art.
I think you could make an argument the six covers are like the six greatest covers in comic book history.
Wow.
Like those covers are all six of them are masterpieces. Like
Hmm.
I even noticed like sometimes they don't bother with comics to like put the covers, but this one they absolutely put every cover in.
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah, they're so striking and intense, and the covers are a lot of this is so eye-catching, is what we
Oh
keep
yeah,
saying. But
yeah. Like Spider-Man breaking out of the
the grave,
grave is like one of the
I mean, the
most
very
iconic Spider-Man images ever.
yeah, and even just the first comic as well, where you have him in a net and it's a rifle pointed at him,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
that I think the art elevates this so much. It's
yeah.
fantastic art. And I mean, just that rifle moment, just to touch on that as well, legitimately harrowing in that moment because you have him being like a rifle, and just freaking out because he's trapped and there's a gun pointed at him, which is legitimate. But yeah, the art by Mike Zeck is fantastic.
Yes.
Um, it's so dark. It's so detailed when it needs to be detailed and
Yeah.
pulls back when it needs to pull back. Um,
and like the use of like rain and shadows and just
Hmm.
makes the whole thing
Yeah,
like, yeah.
it has this whole heaviness to it. There's a lot of underground. It's raining the entire time until the very end there. That it really just adds this dark overtone to the whole thing, which is so great and just makes you really feel that it feels claustrophobic visually.
Yes.
It's claustrophobic without being overwhelming, which is very well done. And is very much what Spider-Man is obviously experiencing, getting buried alive, literally, and then having to hunt vermin through the sewers. It's a rough time for poor Spidey. Holy, going through it, that's for sure. Oh man, and yeah, there's moments that are really profound in it as well. And there's also the poem, Tiger, Tiger. The Tiger, this is by William Blake. Did you know
Mm,
why the tiger kept getting referred to?
no, like the literal cravenness of it, clearly, but yeah.
Because it's an animal.
Well, it's the easy. That's what I'm saying. The easy answer. It's like animal and
Mm-hmm,
hunting nature and all that.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the big. If you were to write a book report, you'd hit on this pretty hard, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So for those, I mean, I think everyone would be familiar, but the Tiger by William Blake, except he changes Tiger to Spider. So it's Spider, Spider, burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame the fearful symmetry? Um, which is a very famous lines. But when thinking about it in the context of this, and then thinking about why this poem, so the tiger is all about it's a religious illusion poem that's sort of asking why, if how did one god create both the lion and the lamb?
Oh, okay.
Um, which is
I've never done the
the
tiger
tiger
in like a
in
English class or anything
literature.
in literature
Hey,
class.
fair.
So
Yeah,
this is learn new
this is
information for me.
news. Cool. Well, yeah, lots of fun, informative facts in this one. So it is a pair of poems. There's one called The Tiger and one called The Lamb. And so in this one, he's sort of saying, how can you be this scary, this horrific? How can you be what immortal hand or eye? So he's talking about God could have created thy fearful symmetry. And symmetry is often used when thinking about religion because of that idea of like what's it called? There's a specific term, like religious symmetry,
Mm,
where the idea is that something so perfect could only have been created by God. And so he's asking, uh,
yeah.
how could God have created something so fearful, but also something so peaceful with the lamb? And so it's I think the reason that they're bringing it up so much in Kraven's Last Hunt is that comparison between Spider-Man and Kraven.
Yeah.
That Kraven is the tiger and Spider-Man is the lamb. And that's also very much emphasized at the end where he's talking about how Peter Parker is a good man,
Yes.
but he's also just a man. And
Which
that's a big part of this is like the duality between them.
yeah, like yeah, because that's yeah, like as we touched on earlier about like both of them like their objectives through all of this and all that, how different
Mm-hmm.
they are.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think Craven is so locked into? I mean, I think we've talked about it a little bit, obviously,
Yeah.
at this point, but why is he so locked into defeating Spider-Man
Yeah, because
and being
it's
the strongest?
yeah, it's like proving his worldview kind of about being the ultimate hunter, being like the strongest beast in the jungle.
Hmm.
He has to beat Spider-Man in order to do that. And
Yeah.
like that's actually all he cares about as compared to Spider-Man,
Hmm.
who just wants to help people and
Yeah.
that's yeah, do what's right.
And yeah, just wants to do it right. Yeah, and Spider-Man is more about appealing to the public and being selfless. I guess that's a big part of it. Spider-Man is all about selflessness because he's taught a huge thing that pushes him through is his marriage to Mary Jane. And
Yes.
that's what he keeps repeating to himself. And that's what gives him the strength to break out. Whereas Craven's just locked into his own honor.
Yeah.
Um, and that is ultimately, like, wow, what a powerful image. I mean, did you, the first time you read through, expect S- Craven to take his own life in that way with his own rifle?
Not really. No, it's kind of, yeah. It's a dark, but
Hmm.
no, wasn't expecting it at all.
Super dark, very shocking, very sad. Makes him a really tragic villain
Yes.
that clearly he's been so just broken. But that he finally finds this moment of peace, and that's where
Yeah.
he,
Yes, he goes out happy despite everything.
yeah, chooses to take his own life. And on his tombstone, I mean, I think that very much hits on it, which is that it says that here lies, I think it says here lies the hunter
Yeah.
who died with honor. And that's sort of your last image that you hold on for Craven,
Yeah.
um, which is very makes a lot of sense for him. That he was all about seeking honor, and
Yeah.
that he sort of saw this as his like family shame, having come to
Yes.
America and failed, and that
Yeah.
this was his chance to show the strength of his family and reclaim that lost honor.
Yeah. But like the honor of the jungle is his thing. Like it's
Hmm.
not like man's honor he looks for. It's yeah, the honor of beasts.
Hmm. Yeah.
The wild kind of honor. This like desire to be the strongest, the biggest cat in the in the jungle.
Hmm. Yeah. The civilized in the wild,
Yes.
I think, is what he talks about.
Yeah, exactly those words.
Um,
Put much
yeah.
better than I did.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting that you have those duality factors, that you have those symmetries again, thinking about the poem. Because there's so many of them in this that you try and hit on, and that you see, like, even just there's ones between like Mary Jane and Vermin. Like, this was a weird one I noticed, which is that Vermin, all of his speech bubble, all of um his internal monologues are in lowercase.
Okay.
Mary Jane's are all in uppercase.
Hmm. Interesting. Never didn't put those two and two together.
Yeah, that was the benefit of reading everything twice.
Yeah.
But
Technically, I have read this like three times, but
oh, there you go.
yeah,
But not right
but like
immediately
all
back
of
to
them were
back.
like years apart from each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Uh, but I mean, there is also, like, I think Spider-Man also, there's lots of all capitals because that's pretty common
yeah,
for comic books, but Vermin's is notable in being lowercase. But
yeah,
you actually have both Mary Jane as well as Vermin both kill a rat.
yes, that
Um,
is, yeah,
so you have that symmetry as well, where it's again showing that we think ourselves so like high and proper, but then you're murdering a rat with a shoe in the same way that Vermin, this literal monster of the sewers, is snapping its back.
cannibalistic monster. That
Yeah.
yeah,
And yet there is that parallel that exists between the two of you, which is, yeah, crazy cool to think about. And that if you are interested in getting really deep into something that has a lot of different things going on, this is very intentionally written. It's very clear that, I mean, you already talked about how this story had to be, it was moved from one potential storyline to the next, but it essentially means that um, DeMatteis had this for a long time,
yes,
and that this was a story that he really wanted to tell, and that he says sort of wanted to tell itself. And I think that's so clear that this wasn't just like written to fill in a comic book quota.
yeah. This wasn't like we need three issues or we need six issues,
Yeah,
by
throw what
Tuesday.
can you grab
Yeah,
together for us? No, this was something that he clearly had been working on for years and years and years. Yeah, it was originally proposed in the mid '80s, so
yeah,
he would have been working on it for years. And it's so intentional, despite being so short. It's also, what I think is very cool is that it has all this stuff that we're talking about, all these themes going on, but there's actually not that many words. It's not super word heavy. There's
No,
obviously a
it
decent amount
does.
of writing, but
Yeah, there are definitely like long, well, like Craven's huge internal monologues are not lacking for,
mhm.
but yeah, but there are moments of like, yeah, visual storytelling as you should hope for in a comic book.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
very much lean into that for certain
Yeah,
parts.
there's lots of visual story, and even the monologues aren't super long. It's usually like a sentence or two divided between like a, a sentence on like one panel, and there's a total like five panels, so like five sentences.
Yeah,
So it's
I
never
guess
like taking up a huge amount. This is no. I'm trying to think of what's the night one that we read.
the night one, the
The George R. R.
the
Martin.
night of the seventh, yeah, the hedge knight,
This is no Hedge Knight.
yeah, yeah, with its
The
massive like 5 paragraph, yeah,
yeah,
narrations and
yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Very much not. But a lot of this is also internal narration, which is
Yes.
very cool.
It would actually be interesting if there's like might be more internal narration than there is actual dialogue.
I bet you there is.
Yeah.
I would think so. And I mean, even just in the internal narration, there's sometimes two voices of the same character competing against one another.
Yeah. Which, yeah. Yes, adds to the madness part of it all.
hmm Yeah, I guess all of them kind of go mad in this, eh? Vermin goes mad, Craven
Yes.
obviously goes mad, and Spider-Man also goes mad as
Yeah, well,
well.
yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like Spider-Man is very much pushed to the brink with this. He manages not to
hmm
fall off, but he is
hmm
pushed probably deeper than he had ever been up to that
hmm
point.
Yeah,
Well,
understandably.
yeah.
Uh, and then for him to then encounter Craven, and wow, what an interesting and compelling interaction when he's
Yeah.
escaped and he finds Craven, and Craven just doesn't
Yeah.
try
Craven
and
does.
kill him or anything. He just wants to make him go through his game that he's
Yeah.
construed against Vermin.
And he just really just wants to show, like, because he can only have beaten Spider-Man if Spider-Man realizes
hmm
that he's been beaten, but also, like, it's not important that Spider-Man feels he has been beaten, but Spider-Man just needs to see in Craven's mind how, like, see the steps that have been taken to prove that Craven was better.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think is there a line in this? I think I know exactly what you mean. I think there's a line in this where he tells Spider-Man, I didn't kill you because I wanted you to see that I could have killed you.
Yeah. Yes, he explicitly says that.
Oh yeah, I didn't kill you because I
Yeah.
wanted you to see that I did kill you.
Yeah. Like,
To that
when
effect.
he's Spider-Man's punching Craven, and Craven's just like, feel free to
hmm
punch me as much as you want. If that,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as we can, that he's, yeah, explicitly says that I could have killed you,
Mhm.
but I needed you to see that I killed you.
Yeah.
Because like killing your body isn't enough. I need to have proven that I could kill the spider, the thing inside you.
hmm Yeah, and boy did he ever. Yeah, he certainly did. And so what's very interesting about this is obviously that's the end of this is Craven's last hunt. This
Yeah.
is that he has accomplished what he set out to do, and it is both like the introduction of this character and then also the conclusion of him
Yes.
until
Which
he
is
does
this,
get
yeah, the
reborn later.
sad part about comic books. They managed to hold it off for like 20 years.
Yeah, he was buried for 2 decades.
Yeah, but eventually they had to bring Craven back.
Yeah. What are your feelings on that? Do you think that this, because it's like you said, this makes Craven like one of your favorite villains,
Yeah.
but
And it's hard because like it's so perfect how they ended it. But like there have been some great Craven stuff since Craven's since this. So
Mhm.
like one of my favorite random ones is it's basically it's like a cosmic cube has like turned human and turned into a little girl, and like a bunch of villains need to capture them, and then Craven just walks in and is like, I am the greatest hunter ever, of course I can find him. And he like goes to a like a clearing where it's like around where she's supposed to be, and he sets up like a tea party because he's like the perfect hunter,
Mm,
so he knows exactly what his core is going to be. And it's like I love that part about Craven
that's
sometimes.
it. Yeah. He is the
Yeah, he's the
world's
greatest
greatest
hunter in the
hunter.
world.
Yeah. And so is he a villain or is he an anti-hero? Is he What do you see him as?
So that is one of the interesting things about him as a character, is I think he's pretty clearly a villain. Like at the end of the day, he is still like he has had they have had him do like anti-hero stuff. Like
Hmm.
there was an old like 1950s Avengers thing where he's just straight up a member of the Avengers and like straight up a good guy.
Hmm.
But for the most part, Kraven's pretty clearly a villain. He doesn't have any positive motives at any point. Like
That's true.
he
Even when
does.
he's impersonating Spider-Man and taking down all these bad guys, it is for selfish means.
Yes. Well, in this one, he's very explicitly a villain. Like, yeah, he's taking down villains, bad guys to prove he's better at taking down bad guys than Spider-Man is.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's one of the things, right? Does the ends justify the means? Like,
Uh,
isn't that good that he's taking down these villains, even
yeah.
if
But
it
then he also
means he's
kills
doing
some
it
of
for
them.
him? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's which is not good. That's,
Yes.
I mean, it's very interesting though to hear the police officers call them maggots, and
Yeah.
that the police officers don't seem too broken up about it.
Yeah. But
But
then,
again, that's the duality that this is
yeah.
talking about. There's the duality of the police. There's even Vermin, who doesn't kill the female police officer he encounters because she reminds him of his own mother.
Hmm. Which also like Furman's killed like 8 people or something like that. He'd
Yeah, but
eaten like
then
8 people since then. But so
and
still
so
clearly,
he seems fully like a monster, but then again, it's that they show this little moment of his humanity.
yes. Yeah.
As
Which I guess it's another thing about like the beast versus humanity, like versus civilization that's in. And the
hmm
Vermin's like you would think the beast has taken over or the jungle has taken over him
hmm
completely, but there's still a little bit of civilization in him.
There's still a little bit in there. Yeah. Uh, Another fun fact to throw at you. I have three today. So
All right.
another fun fact. Did you know that Craven is heavily inspired by Ernest Hemingway?
No.
Yeah,
Interesting.
in this one because Ernest Hemingway, not just a famous writer, but was also known for being a big game hunter as well.
Yes, I do remember hearing about that.
He
And he also killed
also
himself, didn't he?
with a rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Demetis also talks about he's not sure if it was his subconscious or conscious that led him to that decision, but very interesting
Hmm.
to see the parallels. And then
Yeah.
again, especially when you have the poetry, the William Blake poem, The Tiger, throughout it as well. Very evocative of another famous writer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think at this point, it seems very clear you would recommend this to
Oh, in a
everyone.
heartbeat. Just yeah.
Yeah.
Like oh, yeah, read it. Like if you like comic book heroes, you'll find something like might make you realize find stuff deeper. If you like deeper, more complex
Mhm.
stories, it's absolutely that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It even though it's 40 years old, it absolutely stands the test of time. This is a
Yeah.
timeless very much if you're interested in Spider-Man, this seems like a very formative story that teaches you a lot about Peter Parker and
Yeah.
just who he is and the way he thinks, even though this is clearly one of his darker eras, seeing as he is dressed all in black. But you don't
Yes.
really even need to know anything about, like, if you go into this fully blind, not really knowing who Spider-Man is,
Yeah.
you'd probably be able to get through it still.
No,
I mean, it might be
this is
weird, but
definitely prime because there's a famous line that Stan Lee said that every comic book is someone's first comic book.
mhm,
So this is very much still when they held on to that belief that like you need to give. Don't assume don't assume the reader has any background in the
mhm,
character. They very
yeah,
much still like even if you don't realize like you will learn that Mary Jane is Spider-Man's
mhm,
wife just by reading it.
yeah. Totally. It doesn't really matter that you don't know who Joey Face is.
Yeah.
Joey the Face is. Like,
Yeah, I did it.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can absolutely go into this without the background, and it's still an absolute joy to read. It is for sure for older audiences.
Yep.
This is definitely a PG-13 to R situation.
Yeah, but also like more thematically R than explicitly R.
Well, again, you do have someone
Yes, well,
shooting
that's my
themselves in the
point. Like
head.
someone's shooting them, but like it's all done off screen and stuff. So,
I mean, that's true.
yeah,
He is
you do.
silhouetted with a gun in his mouth.
Yes, but like you don't explicitly see like a bullet entering
Mm,
someone's head. Like
that's
it's
true.
it's, it's thematically R-rated. Like it goes
Hmm.
through some deep things and stuff, but you don't see any like a
Mm.
10-year-old kid could read this and probably like it would go over his head and freak him out and stuff. But like,
Yeah, you need to have some conversations with that child
yes,
because this is the kind of things that would absolutely create nightmares for them as well.
yeah,
Like the eating of the spiders and all that stuff. But yeah, don't give this to a 10-year-old. Maybe give this to like a 13-year-old. Yeah, I think this is fine
yeah,
once you're in high school. But yeah, you should absolutely read it. And especially if you want to do a cool book report,
yeah. Did
connect
you do
this
this
with,
with your like? Go to a normal book club and do that. Like do Kraven's Last Hunt as your
yeah. Yeah,
when you're
or
finished reading like I don't know The Old Man and the Sea or something. Next, do Kraven's Last Hunt next.
yeah, or if you're reading The Tiger in your literature class,
Yeah,
you should mention that the tiger is also connected to this
yeah.
because hey, that's kind of fun too. But yeah, if you haven't yet read The Amazing Spider-Man Kraven's Last Hunt, go check it out. And you can, of course, pick it up at Vesperia Manga and Comics or order it at
For now, because I worry it
VesperiaComics.com.
might be out of print for some stupid reason. I can't order
Oh
more of them
man,
online.
really?
Go,
Wow.
yes. So I'm really
Okay.
hoping it's like just temporarily, but God, Marvel's
Jeez.
not great about keeping things. Like, yeah, really
Mm,
famous, really good stories, Marvel. Just keep them in print indefinitely. That's what DC
mhm,
does.
mm. Yeah, well,
Like,
I mean, all the more reason that you
Welcome
better
Back,
hurry
Frank's
and
out
go
of
get
print
it.
now. Rah. Remember that one we did?
No, may I do.
Yeah, I know, but I know you're totally broken up, no doubt about that. But like that
Uh,
one, we did it literally as like a new printing of it when we did that one, and now it's
yeah,
already out of print again.
crazy. Okay, all the more reason. Quick, go,
Yeah,
go now.
go.
Go to Vesperia. Get this
Yeah,
before it's gone. Scarcity
yeah.
concerns. But yeah,
FOMO.
absolutely worth picking it up for sure. And then for the second part of our show, as we move along, we have a couple of other Craven related things to talk about. So I'll start by you didn't watch Craven the Hunter.
No, I was planning on doing it, but then I learned our dad isn't paying for Crave anymore, and it was too much effort to go out to actually like look for Craven the Hunter
Hmm.
if it wasn't just immediately available on a streaming service. So I didn't watch
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter.
It also would have felt
That
bad to rent it and then not watch the whole thing because it's so bad.
yeah, I
Um,
have.
I
Yeah.
made it through this movie. How long is it? I think it's like 2 hours. I made it through the first 35 minutes. So, in my
Okay.
defense, I made it through the first quarter. I gave this
Yeah.
thing a good try. It's rough. It's not
Which
good.
yeah, which I think the first thing to point out of all of like the Spider verse like villain verse like Sony stuff.
Hmm.
After Venom, Craven is probably the second best character you could pick.
Hmm. Why is that?
Well, just like you could like as we mentioned with Craven, like yeah, he's like explicitly a villain, but he has like his like code of honor and stuff like that. You can like make more. You can make him a compelling protagonist more
You
than you
could.
can make like yeah. I'm assuming they
There's
didn't, but
It's held back by, I mean, from the reason I hated it. So there's two main reasons where, yes, the older Craven is very compelling. He's cool. The CG in it is horrendous. It's awful, like
yeah, I've seen.
laughably bad.
Did you get to Rhino?
Yeah. No. Well, like I know
Okay,
who
yeah.
Rhino is, but I don't know which part of Rhino you're referring to. Does
Yeah,
he turn
like
into a rhino in the end?
yeah, and it's like
Oh
I've seen
God.
images of Rhino when he's in a Rhino form, and it's not good.
Yeah, no, there's one part where he like throws a spear and it's like that almost like that jokey camera thing where you like put a camera on top of a spear and like guide it.
Oh yeah.
Like it literally looks like that, except it's a CG spear and it's
Oh
so
jeez.
ridiculous.
Jeez.
It's really, really bad. So the CG was distracting. The I This is gonna break your heart. So Craven got attacked by a lion
Mm, yeah.
who's like the strongest lion who's killed 2,000 men. And then but the lion gets shot by his dad.
Yeah.
And then the lion's blood goes into Craven's blood. And
Yep.
then Calypso gives him a magic potion that brings him back to life, but now he has the super lion blood in him.
Ah,
And now he has superpowers.
yeah, of
And he
course.
can look really far and he is super strong and he can jump like over tall buildings, yada yada.
Yeah.
Um, so
Isn't he
that
like an
sucks.
animal lover or something?
Yeah, and he's friends with all the animals.
Yeah, which kind of missing the point of
Oh
Kraven
yeah,
the
I
Hunter
kind of
there.
missed the point of it. Yeah, that's true. Interesting. So that, but the part that made me really hate it the most was I'm at minute 35. There is no central conflict yet.
Mm,
I had to look at the Wikipedia to find out what the main conflict is, and I now know that I was very close to it. But by 35 minutes, they haven't actually established the main issue of the story, which is crazy
which,
to not have the inciting incident by 35 minutes.
yeah.
But I digress. Yeah, don't watch Kraven the Hunter. For anyone that was wondering, it's a
Yep.
terrible movie.
Have you
Um,
watched any of the other Sony Spider villain ones?
isn't it? Aren't three of them Venom?
Yeah, three of them are Venom. There's been six. There were six of them. I don't think they're making any more of them at this point.
Yeah,
Three Venom movies, and then Morbius, Madam Web, and Craven.
yeah. Yikes! Wow, they really crashed. Well, I guess the Venom ones were popular.
Yeah, the Venom ones. And the first Venom movie's pretty good. I've heard the second one's pretty good. And I have watched the first Venom and Morbius.
Yeah, but that's incredible that they really goofed it so hard on all of these.
Yeah, yeah.
God, what's the Madam Web quote that everyone makes
Oh
fun
yeah.
of?
Something about finding a spider in the Amazon.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that was fine. My parents were killed by a spider in the Amazon or something.
Madam Web. I'm just gonna write Madam Web quote and see if that's the first thing that comes up.
Probably would. Yeah. Good Lord.
Uh,
Horrendous.
uh,
But yeah, don't watch Kraven the Hunter. It's not worth your time. It is interesting
yeah,
to
right.
note.
This man is Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders before she died. That's the
Yeah, little bit clunky,
yeah.
but my last fun fact: the director of the Kraven the Hunter movie teased there could be a sequel based on Kraven's Last Hunt
I'm sure he would have loved to do that. I also know
until it
Craven.
bombed and it got
Yeah,
scrapped.
Craven the Hunter bombed so hard.
Yeah, they lost all chance of that.
Yeah,
But
and to the point of like, from my understanding, like it didn't deserve to bomb as hard as it did, based purely on its quality. It just was like proof that people were just done with these movies.
yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
not, yeah, I guess you can't even compare, so you can't even tell me you don't like. Apparently, it's better than Morbius, which I would like to assume.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. Like, it's just not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will take your word that it's better than Morbius. But speaking of things that are actually good,
Yes.
your Magic the Gathering and the new Marvel set, which is
Yes.
quickly going to become the old set with The Hobbit coming out in a bit. But
Yes.
what's your take on Marvel and Magic the Gathering? How did it do for you?
I like the new Marvel set. It's a fun. The cards are interesting and fun. I think we've mentioned before. I primarily play limited, and Marvel's kind of a very interesting limited set in that I don't think we've ever had one color so good, while the other four colors are all equally like. It's like if you make white a 10, the other four colors are all sixes.
Hmm. White's busted, eh?
White's busted good. Like at my in-person draft, there was a six-man pod. Like I think like 13 people showed up, so it's like 6-man pod. In our 6-man pod, 5 people were white.
Wow, that's crazy.
But it kind of works because like we're all white and another color.
Yeah.
So
And yet it's still a good draft format
yeah,
despite
it's still a
the
fun one.
imbalance.
It's like ease of splash. The cards themselves. So this is actually one of the interesting things I think about the Marvel sets, which was really clear with the Spider-Man set, is like how much better it is. They managed to like capture Marvel pretty well.
Hmm.
So when Spider-Man, when we were through the Owen paths in Spider-Man, it was like terrible because who cares about all these cards just are just don't stand up on their own. But you
Yeah.
throw that Marvelness in it, it's like a lot of fun. Like literally, I remember the Spider-Man pre-release. I had two Kraven the Hunters in my deck, and like it was cool to have bring Kraven out again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the fun part of
yeah.
what they're trying to do
And
with the universes beyond.
Kraven fits perfectly in Magic. He's a 4/3 that whenever you kill the creature with the highest power on the field, you draw a card.
There you go. And he gets struggled. Yeah,
Yeah,
that tracks thematically.
yeah.
Love that.
Mm.
Well, if you're not a big into magic, who knows? Maybe Marvel is what pulls you in. But
Hobbit's looking cool.
or maybe The Hobbit. Maybe
And heck, they dropped a bunch of
now
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek. It just
Star
keeps
Trek
on
stuff.
going. But we need to wrap it up
Yeah.
as we are winding down towards the end of the episode. But of course, we need to introduce what's next on the reading docket. So Spence, what do the fine folks at home and I get to look forward to reading next?
So bigger. We had some deep and complex stuff now. Let's go not do any of that again. Let's go back to doing a new hotness Shonen Jump story, which this one will be doing Ichi the Witch.
Ichi the Witch.
Yes.
Ooh, ICHI.
Yeah, ICHI the Witch
Cool.
by Osamu Nishi and Shiro Usazaki.
Very cool.
Yes, Osama Nishi is the writer of Welcome to the Demon School Imuro-kun. I don't know if you've ever watched or read that one.
Nope.
Okay, well, it's a popular good one. And then Shiro Usazaki was the artist for Act Age before that all exploded.
There you go. Wow. Okay.
Which no doubt we'll talk about when the actual episode.
How exciting. Yeah. So, next episode, Ichi the Witch, ICHI. And of course, you can pick up Ichi the Witch at Vesperia Manga and Comics if you're in the lower mainland of British Columbia, or you can order it online for Canada-wide shipping from VesperiaComics.com. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Also, I guess back-to-back hunters. Ichi the Witch is also about a hunter. So, I don't know.
Whoa.
Thematic through line there somehow.
And the thematic through line goes on. But that's it for episode 41 of the Long Comics Book Club. Thanks so much for listening, and make sure to follow the show on your preferred podcast platform, as well as the Long Comics Book Club on Blue Sky and Instagram. And finally, get in the Discord and share your own thoughts on anything we talked about today, or give us a review of Kraven the Last Hunter, or Kraven the Hunter, the movie. Maybe you liked it. Tell me why.
I'd love to hear.
Maybe you're also a big Morbius
yeah, let
fan.
us know. Someone who's actually, because neither of us have watched both Morbius and Kraven the Hunter, so we can't actually know which one's better. So if you have watched both of them, tell us.
Both, you can report back as our expert witness to let us know which is better. And of course, you can also get in there and tell us all about what you think of Ichi the Witch in advance of our August 1st podcast. And we will look forward to talking to you then. Bye-bye.
See ya.